quiet Los Angeles neighborhood turned into the center of one of the biggest anti-drug crackdowns of 2025. In a carefully planned joint operation, ICE and DEA agents stormed multiple locations, seizing massive amounts of precursor chemicals and drugs worth an estimated $32 million. At the heart of the arrests was a Chinese-Mexican suspect, believed to be a key link between cartels in Mexico and international criminal networks in China. This was Operation Hydra, a strike designed to shake global drug trafficking pipelines. On September 3, 2025, Los Angeles witnessed one of the largest combined law enforcement operations in recent memory. Known as Operation Hydra, the joint effort between Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE and the Drug Enforcement Administration (DEA) mobilized more than 400 personnel, including federal agents and local police partners. The objective was to cripple a transnational drug network that had established dangerous links between the Mexican Sinaloa cartel and Chinese criminal groups operating inside the United States. Hi, before we continue, one click on the subscribe button fuels all the effort behind this and every future video. Let's break it down. The operation culminated in the seizure of over 31,640 kilograms of precursor chemicals, essential in producing methamphetamine, alongside significant quantities of other controlled substances. The estimated street value of these seizures was around $30 to $32 million, making it one of the largest drug interdictions in ICE's history. For agents on the ground, this was not only about cutting off shipments, it was about dismantling the machinery that fuels America's drug epidemic. Central to this takedown was the arrest of a Chinese-Mexican suspect, a figure identified as a key coordinator in bridging criminal operations between Asia and Latin America. Though authorities have not publicly disclosed the suspect's full identity, sources confirmed this individual played a leading role in moving chemicals from Chinese suppliers to cartel operations in Mexico, then ensuring their transport into the United States. This alliance of convenience between the Sinaloa cartel and Chinese networks has been flagged for years by both ICE and DEA as one of the most significant threats to U.S. national security. The broader context reveals why Operation Hydra mattered so much. According to the DEA's National Drug Threat Assessment, fentanyl, methamphetamine, and cocaine remain the most lethal and widely trafficked drugs into the United States. Mexican cartels, including the infamous Sinaloa and CJ&G, Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación, dominate production and smuggling routes. But their operations increasingly rely on overseas suppliers, particularly Chinese groups, for precursor chemicals and financial laundering. Fentanyl alone has been at the center of America's drug crisis. In 2024, over 70,000 overdose deaths were linked directly to fentanyl. By mid-2025, DEA figures showed seizures of over 44 million fentanyl pills, 4,500 pounds of fentanyl powder, 65,000 pounds of methamphetamine, and 2,500 pounds of cocaine across the United States. Each seizure represents lives potentially saved, but it also highlights the sheer volume of drugs being pushed across borders. Los Angeles has long been a strategic hub for cartels. Its massive ports, diverse communities, and sprawling infrastructure provide cover for smuggling operations. Criminal groups exploit both immigrant communities and legitimate businesses to launder money, move products, and establish safe houses. This is why Operation Hydra was designed not only to seize drugs but also to attack the financial backbone of these networks. Agents relied on months of intelligence gathering, including wiretaps, surveillance, and undercover infiltrations. A critical innovation was the use of blockchain analysis tools, which allowed ICE and DEA to trace cryptocurrency transactions used for laundering billions of dollars. This gave investigators the evidence needed to link the physical seizures of chemicals to the digital trails of money moving between Mexico, the U.S., and China. During the raid, authorities also confiscated cash, weapons, and sophisticated communication devices. For acting ICE Director Todd Lyons, this marked the most successful methamphetamine-related operation in the agency's history. His statement reinforced a broader U.S. government commitment, disrupting supply chains, dismantling cartels, and sending a clear signal that America is intensifying the fight against transnational crime. The operation's impact was immediate. By removing more than 31 tons of precursor chemicals, law enforcement effectively prevented the production of millions of doses of methamphetamine. On the street, this has already begun affecting supply, with reports of 15 to 20% price increases for fentanyl in border states due to supply chain disruptions. This price hike risks both the success of seizures and the financial pain inflicted on cartels. Social media quickly lit up with commentary. On X, users posted mixed reactions. Some praised the scale of the operation, pointing to ICE and DEA as guardians of American safety. One post highlighted the collapse of supply chains, while another accused unnamed figures of fleeing with large sums of cartel-linked money, reflecting community suspicions of ongoing corruption. Official ICE posts emphasized their dual mission, enforcing immigration laws and dismantling criminal organizations. While not all public commentary was accurate, the online debate showed just how closely Americans follow the drug crisis. Operation Hydra is not an isolated effort. In September 2025 alone, ICE and DEA also conducted operations in Texas, resulting in 18 arrests and the discovery of an illegal cannabis warehouse. Nationwide, by September, over 2,105 arrests had been made in fentanyl-related cases. Every operation contributes to a larger mosaic of enforcement designed to weaken cartels from multiple directions. Yet challenges remain. As noted by experts, cartels adapt quickly. Already they are experimenting with more advanced cryptocurrency laundering, underground banking, and new trafficking routes. The unfinished drug tunnels recently uncovered along the US-Mexico border are just one reminder of their persistence. And beyond enforcement, the drug epidemic is tied to social problems, addiction, poverty, and lack of treatment access that cannot be solved with seizures alone. Federal officials acknowledge that while operations like Hydra are essential, they must be paired with education, prevention, and rehabilitation programs. Still, Operation Hydra demonstrated a level of international coordination rarely seen before. Reports indicated that Chinese and Mexican authorities provided assistance in tracking fugitives tied to related cases. This cooperation reflects an understanding that drug trafficking is not only an American problem, it is global. And only through partnerships can law enforcement outpace cartels that operate without borders. The story also emphasizes the importance of multi-agency collaboration. ICE brought its expertise in immigration enforcement and financial tracking. DEA provided drug intelligence and operational leadership, and local law enforcement gave critical on-the-ground support. Together, they created a force that could overwhelm even sophisticated criminal networks. For everyday Americans, this means safer streets, fewer drugs entering schools and neighborhoods, and a stronger message that federal agencies remain committed to protecting public safety. Operation Hydra shows the power of teamwork. When ICE, DEA, and federal partners move together, even the most complex criminal networks can be broken. $32 million worth of drugs and chemicals were taken off the streets, and a key suspect is now in custody. But the fight is far from over. Do you think cartels will continue to find new ways to adapt, or are these operations finally tipping the balance?
The fallout, and what it all means for America. In August 2025, Immigration and Customs Enforcement made national headlines after a stunning operation in San Francisco. What began as routine surveillance turned into the exposure of a fully functional smuggling tunnel, complete with lighting and ventilation. For a city long known as a sanctuary for migrants, this discovery was a wake-up call. ICE agents moved fast, sealing the tunnel, detaining thousands, and targeting the criminal organizations that built it. According to official reports from the Department of Homeland Security, ICE had already intensified enforcement efforts earlier in the year. From January 20th to June 26th, over 2,200 migrants were detained in the San Francisco area alone. The majority were men, with 45% from Mexico, 20% from Honduras, and 15% from Guatemala. These figures showed how deeply transnational smuggling networks were operating across California. But August brought escalation. ICE didn't just target individuals crossing illegally. The mission expanded to dismantling entire networks.